think we've adapted really well to the Premier League, but will it continue? We've got some tough games today, but only time will tell. If you like what we're doing, please drop a like. Also, press that subscription button and the bell for notifications so you can see all future content. If you've noticed, we have another series that's launched, which is Rover's Return, so go and have a look at that. We also have the Tactics Review, and there will be some other things very, very shortly. But without further ado, roll intro. Hello and welcome to Club 3, Episode 12 of Non-League to Glory. I'm Adam, and on today's show we have our away game against Tottenham and then an away game against Everton. Since you were last with me, this is what has happened. So we had beaten Villa 3-1 and then we lost 2-1 to Arsenal away from home. We then managed to beat Watford 3-2 thanks to goals from Scarbe, Goebbels and Elliott. We then lost 3-1 in the EFL Cup, which was at home to West Ham, but we put out an under-strength team, literally, because it was 3 days after Watford and 3 days before Leicester. And so Bajic, Peters, Scarbe, Bastoni, Reka, Illich, Busquets, Cook, Chong, Service, Sasaki, Dylan, Caldron and Elliott all made appearances. Most of those first-team players came off the bench to see if we could salvage anything. We then went from there and lost 1-0 to Leicester. That was thanks to an 80-minute goal from Harvey Barnes. I then was conscious that we'd lost 3 and 4. We had a little bit of a break, so I organised a friendly against low opposition in Lingfield where we won 7-1. It didn't seem to do the trick, but we only lost 1-0 to Chelsea. And it was a 79th minute penalty that wasn't a penalty in my eyes, but Jorginho stuck it away. And we were down to 10 men for most of that game as Harvey Elliott got sent off. We then beat Wolves 2-0 thanks to Lookman and Carvalho. Carvalho had literally been on the pitch a few minutes, I believe, when he scored his first goal in his first appearance. Lookman unusually scoring 2. And then we beat Norwich 3-1. Goebbels, Bastoni and Chong in the 92nd minute, his first goal for the club. Which brings us on to today. Transfer news, I don't think there has been anything since, because that was Ozcan, the last one. And we don't have anything other than the header in the pipelines. A bit of news as in Pellegrini's been injured, he's coming back. And I'm yet to play Pozzo, apart from his first game where he got an assist, because he's been injured since then. He is back, but he's been playing in the reserves. He's going to feature today, but it's probably going to come off the bench to feature. So this is the team that we're going to put out to try and get another 3 points. In fact, let's have a look at the table first, because that is all important. As you can see, we've won 4, lost 3, scored 12, conceded 8 with a 4-goal difference, and we sit with 12 points, which after 7 games in the Premier League, I'm quite happy with. Now, the one thing to look at, that's looking at the overall table. Let's look at a home record. If it were just based on home, 4 straight wins, and we are joint top with Liverpool. Unfortunately, let's base it on away record. Stone cold bottom. Haven't conceded a lot of goals away from home in the 3 games, just the 4, scoring 1, but we have struggled away from home. Now, we have played, if you have a look, Arsenal, Leicester and Chelsea. So not easy games, but we are struggling to score away from home. We now face Tottenham away and then Everton away. So I don't think it's going to get any better. In regards to player stats, if we look in the goals, Goebbels is knocking around there on 4. 3rd joint top scorer, but he's being outplaced by Sarr, Esposito and Kane. Esposito, interestingly, I know went for about 92 million to Arsenal. Last season? Yeah, last season. So there you go. Harry Kane, it was a £107 million purchase. Ismail Sarr, he's only about 30 million. And then Lautaro Martinez, and 93 million. So he's knocking about with some decent company. Player of the match, we're not in there yet. Neves, Depay and Chalobah. We don't have anybody there, not even on a 1, so I'm guessing we're down here because we have had performances. Average ratings, not a 1. Ruben Neves currently leads that chart for Manchester City, then Esposito for Arsenal and De Bruyne. Clean sheets, Penna has 1. Not fantastic, but he is still getting used to the way we play. Pickford, Edison and Oblak are the top 3. Assists, we do have Calderon. 5 assists so far this season. Really good. I don't think we have anybody. Oh, we do. Harvey Elliott with 3 because he got a couple of assists in the last game, I believe. But Calderon has been really superb. Depay leads that with Kamara in 3rd. Yellow cards, Lewis Cook's the only one. In other news, when we spoke about the contracts from the last, Calderon has signed his new contract now. He has gone up to £52,000 a week, but he has no minimum release clause. We have a 5-year deal on him, and he's pretty good, so it's a good job. I think Goebbels, is he still on his original contract? Yeah, because we've only just signed him. Who was the other guy? Nicolau had already signed a contract. Pozzo was the other one. He signed a 5-year contract. He's on £66,000 a week, but no minimum release clause, and we have him for 5 years. So all in all, that's great. So let's get on to the team that's going to face Tottenham away from home, and it's Penna in goal, Walker-Peters, Nicolau, Bastoni and Recca in the back, Calderon, Cook and Gomez in the centre, Lookman and Elliott on the wings, and Goebbels up front. The bench sees Bejic, Kumagawa, Dylan, Debo, Pozzo, Carvalho and Chong. So coming off the back of that, let's see if picking up from the last game enables us to help against top opposition. So now we face Tottenham, and it's Tottenham who are on the ball first, and they are 1-0 up already. 4 minutes gone. Olaza assist, Jeffrey Kondogbia with the goal. Let's have a look at this again. It's Olaza with the throw, and they just don't deal with him. It's out on that right hand side, coming in, and we're already 1-0 down. I mean, Tottenham, to be fair, are pretty good. Lirola, Milenkovic. Oh, and Lookman's took the ball off him, and Lookman gets it to Goebbels. Goebbels gets it to Elliott, and Elliott, it's 1-1, ladies and gentlemen. Goebbels to Elliott, and that was pretty good. We have pulled it level 5 minutes after they took the lead, and we're going to see this again because Milinkovic gets caught on the ball. Lookman lays it to Goebbels. Goebbels, instead of shooting, lays it to Elliott in space, and we are 1-1 against Tottenham. First shot. It's normally other teams that have been doing that to us, and it's Olmo now. Olmo plays it in, and it's gone through every... It's gone to VAR. I think there's going to be a penalty, and Recca is looking like he could be off here. Is he off? He's off. He is off, and that has left us short. And we don't really have somebody who can play on the left. I think Walker-Peters can, and I'm going to take Lookman off, which is pretty harsh. We'll play Pozzo over there and Walker-Peters there, which means we are short on this left-hand side. Let's confirm those changes, and it's a penalty. VAR sucks. Lo Celso is going to take this, and it's a goal, and it's 2-1 to Tottenham. And against top-flight opposition, we are down to 10 men again. And it did say it was harsh. Yeah, we don't need to see that penalty again. Let's get this game back underway. I think it's an uphill struggle from here. I don't see us getting back into this game now. I mean, this looks pretty ominous. Elliott gets it away there, but it's only as far as Olmo plays it back in. And it's Son and Ferro and Milinkovic, and they're passing it round for fun. We're down to 10 men, and it's in. And Olmo, and we're being stretched. And it's Nicolau gets it away to Elliott, but there's nobody to go to. He heads it, and it's just coming back at us, and it's Lirola now. and he tries to get it away. We do get it away, but Kondogbia, and it's VAR again, and it's been given again 2 penalties. VAR is awful. Lo Celso now with his second penalty, and Penna saves it, and I think that is justice. And Tottenham can count themselves very, very lucky. Olmo now to have 2 penalties, both by VAR and both judged harshly. But it's all Tottenham, and we are struggling to contain, but we do need a goal. There's no point sitting back. With 10 men, we will lose. And it's Larola now, and he crosses, and it's in, but Parrott puts it wide and over, and it remains 2-1. I'm going to have to think about changes and probably play more narrower. So I am going to have a look at that now. Let's have a quick look. Does Elliot want to play there? I don't think he does. He is going to play there. Yeah, we're going to play Elliot there. And we're going to go very narrow. And we're going to focus through the middle. Drop that defensive line back. That's how we're going to go. And let's put this unbalanced and see if we can nick a goal. That's what we're going to do. We have done it before. I'm not convinced it works. I think we needed all 11 players on the pitch. He wants me to sympathise with them. Come on, lads. We are down to 10 men, but if we work hard, we can get that result. And Gomez. Let's have a shout to Gomez. Gomez needs to show some passion. He's a Manchester City player. Elliot now. Oh, and how has that gone in? It's an own goal. We're going to see this again, and it's Elliot who's fantastic at set pieces. Elliot gets this in, and it's Nicolau who hits the post. It comes back, hits Ferro, and it's 2-2. And we, down to 10 men, playing more narrower, struggling, have scored again, and it's 2-2, and it's Olmo now. And that's off the underside, and Penna gets to it. 60 minutes gone, and we're going to have to think about whether we need anybody else on. I've not got many options, but Gomez is having an absolute nightmare. So we're going to bring Dabo on for his debut. Walker-Peters isn't playing great on the left, but I don't have anybody to bring on instead of him. Goebbels is going to come off, and it's going to be Dylan that we're going to play up front, and Elliot's going to play in behind him. 2-2 against Tottenham. I can't see it staying that way. We'll be starting to look tired. Here's Pozzo. Pozzo gets it to Elliot, but it's easily dealt with. It's Dabo gets it. Calderon now. Calderon back to Dabo in all kinds of space, and he finds Walker-Peters on the left, but he's right-footed, and he plays it into Dabo again, and Dabo knocks it back to Walker-Peters, and it's into Elliot, but he can't get a clean shot away. Walker-Peters wins it back, and it's Calderon. Calderon lays it back. It's Baston. And Walker-Peters again gets it in with his left, and they get it away, and they break now, and it's Moses who finds the ball to Parrott, who's going to take his men on and get a shot away, and it's a nice clean tackle, but it's let Kondogbia through, but it remains 2-2. Penna saves there, and they get a corner, and it's Tielemans now who gets the cross in. It's away, but not very far. It's Moses chasing this down, and Moses, and what is Elliot doing? Elliot's booked, and Elliot just took his legs from under him. I thought the red card was going to come out, and I thought we'd be in more trouble. We are approaching 80 minutes, and we have a goal kick, and it's Penna to Nicolau. Nicolau out to Cook. Cook to Dabo. Dabo now to Elliot. Elliot out to Pozzo. Pozzo is going to run with this. He's not. And he's fouled, and is this going to even up the game? Alazar's off, surely. Yes, Alazar's off, and it's 10 versus 10. And I'm going to leave it as it is. I'm not going to go positive. And let's try and get our first point away from home by putting some time wasting on. And this is a good result. We have been down to 10 men since the 17th minute. Possession fairly even, but they have got most chances away. But I think that was an excellent performance. We are proud of you, 2-2 against Tottenham. And now we're on to the Everton game. And the team that we're going to put out to do this is Penner in goal. Pozzo makes a start at right, Nicolau and Bastoni in the centre, and Pellegrini returns. Calderon, Gomez and Cook in the centre, Elliott on the right, Lookman on the left, and Goebbels up top. Now, before we get into that, let's just have a quick look at the table. Because if you have a look there, Everton are stone cold bottom. They've won 1, which was against West Ham 3-0, but they've lost 7 to Arsenal, Leicester, Norwich, Chelsea, Wolves, Tottenham and Barnsley. And they're conceding goals while they're doing it. If we have a look at the players, let's have a quick look. This is their goalkeeper. Doesn't look fantastic. If he came to us, he'd be probably about 6th choice. There isn't massive amounts of big players. Kakare, Gomez, Richarlison, they do have a couple, but some of these players are woeful. They finished last year in 15th. It's got worse. Now cue that they will beat us, but we should be getting our first win away from home, you would expect. I'm not 100% confident. Yeah, nothing to lose here, but let's show everybody what we're capable of. Because we haven't. A loss to Everton in our first season back in the Premier League isn't by any stretch of the imagination poor. So let's see whether we can do it. We are 7th in the table at the moment, but it's Everton with the first highlight, and it's Gomez who gets tackled easily by Cook, Goebbels and Elliott. Elliott, who's been great at assisting, lays it into Goebbels. Can Goebbels get a shot away? He can't. He's tackled. And there's another tackle in there, and Goebbels loses the ball, but we get it back, and it's Cook now. Cook, who lays it off to Elliott, to Goebbels. Elliott back to Goebbels, who does get his shot away, makes no mistake there, and it is 1-0, his 5th of the season. Elliott with another assist, and we're up away against Everton. And it's a good goal. Cook, Elliott, Goebbels, and instead of laying it off to the right, lays it off to Goebbels, who strokes it into the bottom corner. And it's an easy goal in the end as we are 1-0 up. This will move us on to 16 points, and I'm not counting my chickens because they do have some good players, but they are in poor form and we are playing well. And I want our first away win. And it's Elliott with the corner now. Gets it in, it's 2-0, but as Adarabeo gets it away. Elliott now tackled, but he wins the ball back, cuts inside. Is he going to shoot? He does, but it's easy for Everson. It's Everson who's in goal, actually, not Laban. But even Everson probably wouldn't get in our team or even onto the bench. I think Bajic is better than him. And they are average at the moment. They are having a lot of shots, but they're not doing anything with it. And all the highlights are now coming for us. And it's Pozzo to Calderon. Calderon switches it, and it's out to Pellegrini. Pellegrini over the top, and Goebbels is there, and that's his 2nd of the game, his 6th of the season, and Pellegrini gets another assist, his first assist of the season, I believe. But Goebbels with 6 goals is proving he is great at this level too, and it's a great spot from Pellegrini here, over the top, and Goebbels makes no mistake, first time into the bottom corner again, and it's 2-0. And we have been very good and very clinical. Calderon now. Back to Pellegrini. Pellegrini gets it in again to Elliott there, but it's back to the keeper, and they'll sweep that up nicely, and it's Everson now who throws it out to Keane. Keane to Adarabeo. Back to Keane, who's now under pressure, and they've lost it again, and it's Lookman this time who takes his man on. goes past him and shoots, and it is 3-0 before half-time, and Everton are imploding before our eyes. It looked panic from Everson before it even got to Keane, and then it all went wrong. And Gomez and Lookman hounding, and Lookman there with a great strike. I think that's his second of the season. And we look very good away from home. For the first time this season, we look brilliant away from home. And let's tell them we are happy with the way things are going. See if we can add to it. Let's pile on the misery. 16 points already after just 9 games is a great return. You've got to think we probably need another 24 points for safety, so another 8 victories. And with the form we're in at home, and adding this away game to it and some easier games to come, this should be good. We'll let Elliott get this away. Elliott, Calderon, but Everson saves, and we are going to look to see if we need to make some changes. And the whole team is playing fantastic. And you know what? For a change, I am not going to change it up. Everson now. Big boot from Everson. Does find Sandro, who takes on his man and gets past him. And Everton, it's a save. Penna, Nicolau gets it away. And it remains 3-0. I think Elliott's going to come off in a second because we've got other games to think about. In fact, let's get that done now. We're going to take Elliott on, and it's Carvalho we're going to bring on. Yeah, we'll leave it as that for the time being, as Carvalho comes on for his second game. And it's a throw-in now, and I think it's Pellegrini who's going to take this. It's Pellegrini to Lookman to Gomez. Pellegrini again takes his man on, does get past him in the end, gets it to Gomez, and it's 4-0, and this game is safe. Pellegrini adds another assist. Gomez's second goal of the season. And I did forget to show you, but we've managed to convince Elliott and Gomez to join us on loan till the end of next season, as we made that offer, and it's all been accepted and through. And that's a great addition, and we're going to make 2 more changes in a minute, because I do want to, consciously knowing more games are coming up. So let's see this first. Nicolau. In fact, let's make those changes now, because I want to bring Dylan on, and I want to bring Chong on. And it's Nicolau, and it's out rather tight to Pozzo, who gets it to Cook, and Cook boots it upfield, and it's Goebbels who gets to it, but they get there as well, and it's away, and Carvalho can't get to it, and it's Cook who grabs it back now, inside to Calderon, doesn't find his man, but it's going to drop to us again as Pellegrini, who's been sensational this game, gets it to Calderon to Cook, Cook to Carvalho, to Goebbels, Lookman hits the post, and it could have been 5. It really could have been an absolute disaster. We've made those changes now. It's Loftus-Cheek, he's tackled. Pellegrini needs to keep himself injury free, he's only just come back, doesn't need to take chances. Nicolau gets it away, Calderon does. Keane now gets it to Agustiston, who crosses it, and it's gone wide, and we remain with a clean sheet intact as it stands. And that's it, 4-0, 61% possession. Very proud of the performance today, and that is an excellent result. Let's go and see what this has done to the table. Let's just congratulate Goebbels. He might be checking on Gomez, but he's not having him back. Premier League table then, let's go and have a look at the big table. And let's take that away record off because it looks better now. So, played 9, won 5, drew 1, lost 3, scored 18 goals, conceded 10, 8 goal difference, 16 points. We are ahead of the likes of Leicester and Manchester City, and of course Everton, who we've just beaten, who are woeful, conceding 24 goals already. I mean, let's just have a quick look at their schedule, what they've done. I mean, they beat West Ham, but other than that, they've lost 4-0, 3-0, 4-1, 4-0, 3-0, and 4-0. Surely, who's there? Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Surely he's under a lot of pressure. We will have a quick check on that in a second. But that means that we're 6th There is teams still to play, but we are 6th with 16 points. I think that's a rather impressive start to the season. Goebbels is now up there as the second top goal scorer on 6. Calderon remains up there on 5. Average ratings, Calderon has just entered on a 7.40. Average player of the match? Really? Right, okay. Well, apparently, all my player of the matches are going to different players, which isn't bad, but is strange. Penner moves up with 2 clean sheets there. And we're not bothered about yellow cards. I don't think we've accumulated that much. I think Nicolau with 3, which is very good. But what does that mean? That means, first of all, let's Gomez with us till 2025. That's 3 years worth of loans. When's his contract up? 2026. I mean, we're not going to be able to buy him. They'll want like 80 million or something daft for him. Harvey Elliott definitely not be able to buy him. He's until 2025. Contract runs out 2026. I'll keep him on loan. I'm quite happy to keep him on loan. 4 goals and 4 assists for the season. Really good. What we are going to do is we're probably going to get the whole of November, which is 4 games. We're going to come back for this West Ham and Forest game. In fact, we're not. We're going to come back for the double header there against Liverpool and Manchester United. So we're going to come back at the end of December. That'll allow me to get a good few games out of the way. That'll allow us to see us against 2 big teams, Liverpool and Manchester United, who incidentally are in the top 3. It'll also then come into January, where I'll be making some transfers, and then we can come back maybe for the Arsenal game, but we will see. So the next time you'll see me is for the Liverpool game at home on the 23rd. That's the end of this episode. Thank you for watching, and if you haven't already, please like and please subscribe. It really does help, and you'll get more notifications of more new series. See you soon.
We are heroes tonight.